So pretty much the last thing that we want to do with the support desk now is to customize it. Best way to do that, I've found, is first of all I want to make a backup of everything because I'm not like technically proficient completely. I understand what this stuff is, but if I screw it, well, it's going to be completely stuffed. So what I'm going to do is download all of these files just through my FTP. I'm going to simply download them to my computer. Now you don't need to watch me do this, of course. I'm going to just pause this video in a moment, but the whole point is that once they're downloaded, and here they are coming up on my desktop here now, then I'm going to make some changes to the files here, and then in amongst those files I'll then upload them. So I'll make a backup, make some changes, and then re-upload them. But anyway, these things are now coming down, so I'll pause this video until it's done, then we'll continue on. Okay, that's done. Look at that, the magic of television, straight back. Now I've got everything, it's all been downloaded. Here it is in my main folder. Now a couple of changes that we're going to need to make. If I come back here to, this is the page that we're going to be making some changes to. This is what I'd like to be doing with it. This is what the customers are going to see, this particular page here. First thing I want to do is get rid of this image. I'm going to replace this with my own image. If I click there on View Image Info, this will bring up for me the details about this particular image, where it is, where I can find it. That's always important. Just there. There we go. Okay, I will find that in Images, Logo 2. So let's just quickly now go to Images. So the first thing I want to do is change this. I'm going to open it up with Photoshop Elements, which is the program that I use. Doesn't matter what you use. I don't mind staying with those particular colors, so I'll just use the dropper here to get a sort of a matching color. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. And so it's just that orange in there and then that grey. I guess I'll stick with that because it's going to work with the text that's already on the page. Okay, so that's why I'm doing that. So here I am. First thing I need to do is just get rid of what's there. So I'm just going to go and just scrub out. Now I am not, let me just say this, I am absolutely not an expert when it comes to these things, but I can do these very, very basic things. So I change my colors over, so my orange is on top. There, I'll pick a font, let's see. Myriad Web Pro, that'll do. I often know that one looks pretty good. Here we go. Yep, let's just move that down a little bit because I want to check out the sizing of it. Now I'll just shrinky bring it back to 100%, which allows me to really see the size of it. Can make it a little bit bigger. That's just my company name. You put whatever you want in there for yourself. Move that over. And here's what I'll do. I'm going to make that bold, which might make it just a fraction too big. No, that's still okay. Highlight it. I'm going to change this to just sort of a very dark grey, which is similar to what it was. Now, I'm actually using this at the moment, not as a support desk. I have a support desk already. I'm going to be using this just for keeping in touch with my joint venture partners. Not quite straight. Let me just undo that. Gonna have to just make that a bit bigger and have a look. Line weight, make it size 2. I just want a little divider line of some sort. Well, yeah, that really works, doesn't it? Like I said, 2 pixels. I made that 2 centimeters. I'm not an expert when it comes to this. You don't need to be an expert when it comes to this. Everything that I learned about how to use this, I learned from the book that came with the program. There we go. I can put a shape or something on the shadow on that later. I just learned these little bits and pieces. Now underneath this, let's see, I might grab something that's possibly like that blue. That would be alright. Sorry, I keep going back to the wrong one. That's my support desk. I'm using it as the model. So we'll come back here. Going to stick with that same font, but I want to choose a blue, a light blue. Yeah, that looks about right. Starting from here, this is my joint venture marketing area. It's going to be a bit big, but we'll fix that up in a minute. I'm going to make that a fraction smaller. Move it down. See, it doesn't have to look super duper professional. It's just got to look better than the average Joe. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, you've got to do just the best you can. Here we go. That's not going to look too bad. That'll come up all right. Let me just put a bit of a drop shadow on that, if I can even. Here, just a little bit of a look. It's a little bit too much, so I'll just change that. Not that. I need to just adjust. A bit hard for me to show you doing this. I want that drop shadow to be sort of more of a grey than I do the actual black. See here at the moment it's just a black, so I'm going to change that to like a bit of a lighter grey. No special reason, it's just not as strong then. That's what I wanted that for. And I'm going to do the same thing to each of them. Now if you don't have this kind of program, that's fine. You don't need this kind of program to do this kind of thing. It's just one of those things that you can do if you have it. I mean, if you really want it done but don't have the ability to do it, you'll always find someone, you know, that you can get to outsource this to. Let me just highlight that little fella, and I'll do the same there. Just gives it a bit of a softer look. Now this, that colour, I have to admit, I'm not entirely happy with for the paw. It's just not quite the right orange. I don't think it's bright enough. So I'm going to highlight that. Just want to be a bit darker orange, that's all. Maybe like that one just there. That looks better. Just want it to stand out. Okay, so I'm now going to save that. I've saved the PSD, but I'll now save it for web. Now I'm making this. This image here is a JPEG. I've already backed it up. So I'm going to save that for web, which opens up this big doohickey over here for me. You can't see what I'm doing off screen here, but I'm just changing that to JPEG. It'll now ask me where to save it, which will bring me to here. I'm saving it over that one just there. Do I want to replace it? Yeah, I do. Now, we can do this with all the images across the board. However, now that I have saved that, let me just shrinky-dink that down. There it is there. I'm going to go back into my FTP here, and I want to re-upload it over that image that was already on the server. And then we'll refresh the page and have a look. Now that's probably taken me, 5 minutes. Because I'm not an expert at this kind of thing. Absolutely not. But let's see if that worked. In doing this, it allows me to make small changes just like that. Now, isn't that sweet? It looks a whole lot better. The colours fit in with everything that's already there. Now, the last thing that I want to do is I want to make some changes to some of this text. Not much, just a few. I'll pause while I bring up the right files, then we'll have a look at that. Okay, and we're back. One more time. What I'm going to do now is I've got my HTML editor open. I'm going to open up the index file, which gives us this page here, but in code. Now, it's all in PHP. I don't know how to write PHP code. I've got no clue. But I do know that if it says, please customize it to fit your needs, and I can make some very, very basic changes, such as here where it says, welcome to the support center, and we have a look, welcome to the support center. I know that if I change this text, that text will change. Okay, these are HTML codes either side of it. I always still recommend, even when you're with WordPress or whatever, that you should learn how to at least understand and read basic HTML, because it's still used all over the place. So I want something like there we go, something to work in my joint venture marketing center. That'll do. Now, here's the next section of text. In order to streamline support requests, okay, well, I'm not using this as a support desk, so I'm going to make some changes here, like this. And just let me throw in a disclaimer. Please don't have a go at me right now for typos. I'm typing and talking, which I can't do. Just do the best that I can. So in order to streamline communication support requests between alright, so I'm saying it's from a help desk. Okay, I'm going to finish writing this off, then I'll show you. You don't need to watch me write it. You get the idea, don't you? Alright, hang on. Okay, that's done for the moment. I'll have a quick look at that in a section. But one thing I wanted to show you is right down the very bottom, there's a thing, to include the footer.php. Now, if I come all the way back here, you can see down the bottom is the footer, this here. Now, you don't have to leave that there. I'm not going to leave that there. I will leave this, but not there, and I'm going to change this to mine as well. Now, that's not in this index.php. That's going to be in the footer. So let's just find that one. Okay, yeah, they've gone and not put it where it should be. Let's have a quick look at this again. Oh, footer.inc. So it's probably going to be in the includes section. This is probably the section that we changed. Yeah, okie doke. Let me just explain that to you. I'd forgotten this from beforehand. Alright, I'm changing this index page. It doesn't need to be changed, but I'm changing it. You saw me do that a moment ago. If I come into this section here, into client, that's me or you, whoever we are the client of the people who made this software, we can make changes to the footer, the header. Actually, that's probably the index we should be making changes to. Let me have a quick look at that. Header, index. No, okay, so we don't change that one, but this one we're going to make some changes to. And this one, which is the footer. So I'm going to put copyright Paul Bars Publishing. Okie dokie. As a show of support, we say that you leave that. Yes, thank you very much. No, I won't. But I'm happy to leave their little logo down there. No problemo. I do want to make that open up into a new window, though. Always a good idea if you're going to send people away from your website. Support ticket. Don't know where that's for. I don't know where that's going to go, actually. Support ticket system, maybe? Yes, that's it. Okay. See over the side here? That's this text just here that I'm changing now. So, joint venture marketing, joint venture system. Oh, joint venture communications. Oh, yeah. Go back and spell check all this later. Oh, never mind. Okay, coming down here, my tickets, ticket status. Let's have a quick look. New ticket, ticket status. Okay, these are these last changes. Log out my tickets, my communications. I'll change that too. Ticket status, that's it there. Normally you wouldn't be changing these, but not for a support desk. You'd leave them as they are. New contact. Okay, and here we have a reference to home. Now this one's important. This one just here, home. I don't want that going back to where it is. I want it to say something like that. So I'm going to change this index.php to and then change this to my main page. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, now I do need to put somewhere into this, and I'm not quite sure where, so I have to pause and go and find it. Somewhere for this background image. Hold on one moment. Okay, here's what I've done. I couldn't find the place in this, but I had a look at the previous one, which I'd already built, this one just here, and in my main folder, I simply replaced the already existing BG image, there's its backup, with the new one. So pretty much now I've got everything that I want done. I'm just going to save these. Header, footer, and index I need to upload. So, well, here I am just quickly in my images folder. So I'm going to upload the image, the new background image. Now you can make that background image whatever you want. You don't have to, but you can. And this way I didn't have to actually change any of the code for that to happen. So I can do that. If I come up, I'm in the main section here, I'll upload the index, which I made some changes to. There we go. If I forget, mine creates a backup of everything I've made a little bit of an alteration to and had it open in my program. That's going, that's going. Oh boy, I hope this works. Now this is the thing. I know I keep saying this, and I'm teaching this to you right now. I keep saying, I'm not an expert, I'm not an expert. And if you've never done this before, you think I'm an expert. But I don't know if this is going to work until I actually get in there and do it. So I'm now just uploading the files that I have made change to. Okay? You see what I'm doing here? I'm not really making much change at all, just a bit of text here, there, and everywhere. I'm now going to come back once that's done. I'm going to refresh this page here and have a look, and well, you know, everything hunky-dory. She'll be right, mate. That should be it. Look how easy all of that was. All done in, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, I guess. That's how much time I've given you. It took me a bit longer. Anyway, I'll go through now and just obviously spell check everything, because I'm not exactly great when it comes to my typing and so on. So I'll go through and do all of that, as you should always do. And then I've now got this up and running. Okay, I want to just change open new tickets to start new request or something like that. And bang, I've now got a system here where I can keep in touch with my joint venture partners. I can automate part of it, and the rest of it will be manual. The manual bit, and they will know that I am personally communicating with them and responding to them. The automation will come because everything's going to be stored for me the way that I want it to be stored, and I can check their responses, my responses at any time. That's important to me. And if I do have one email to go out to everyone, I can customize and pre-write that email and just store it to click and send. Fantastic little system. Love this thing. OzTicket down there, it's part of your cPanel. And just, you know, if you can't, you can go to OzTicket, download it and install it. Brilliant little app. Have a great one. Bye-bye.